Shut up and sit down.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ken Frederick Podcast. Today is May 12th. I want to say thank you for listening. And if you stumbled across us online, you can check us out at kfpodcast.com, facebook.com/kfpodcast, and on the Twitter at Ken Fred Podcast, at Ken Fred Podcast.
.org, .gov.
Yeah, whatever. I want to thank you for listening, like I said earlier. And if you don't mind sharing us with your Facebook friends, and sharing our YouTube, whatever, just so we can get some more people out there. Just
Please,
like that.
please share your friend. Share
Your friends with us.
Share your friends with us. Give us all your friends.
Invite them.
And there's
like
the word
the-
that escaped us.
Yes.
Invite
Your
friends.
friends to like the Facebook page.
It was right on the
I did write it there, but you.
It was
you
in red. I
didn't see it.
can't read in red. All right, so today
Thanks,
on the,
Cheese Whiz.
Yeah.
Cheese names all night long.
All right.
So you know.
Should I keep tally to see what you get up to?
Yeah.
All right.
Go for it.
All right. So was that one?
That was one.
All right. So today on the show, we're going to talk about sports.
Sports. We're doing a sports spectacular for
Yeah.
you.
All types of sports are what we've done personally.
How bad we are at it.
How horrible. Yep.
Current events.
Just, talking about sports. So,
Just a little break from the nerd stuff, right?
yeah, it was very nerd heavy. A lot of
Yeah.
movie stuff.
Yeah, a lot of
A lot of movie stuff.
So,
You know.
so
Maybe
we're
next week we'll do pottery, or
fine linens.
Quilting.
quilting, coin collecting.
Oh,
that
cool.
ought to be an fun with flags, right?
There's already a YouTube show for
Yeah,
that.
we don't want to do that one.
Oh, you got to put it in the notes so YouTube doesn't shut us down.
Yeah, YouTube will
We
shut
don't
us
have
down
fun with flags.
for stealing from Big Bang Theory.
All right, so we're going to talk about...
You never introduced the team, Ken, but they know who's here.
I
We
was
have no
gonna
guest
say,
stars.
At this point, they know who's here.
No one wanted to do sports with us, so it's just these three idiots and no one else.
Yes. So,
Just Ken, me, Cheese Stick.
I feel like the count. All right, so we're going to do a little... So now that you know the team,
All right.
we're going to do a little sports week in review, kind of go over some sports that's been going on.
Okay.
How many times have we said sports
A lot.
tonight?
Sports.
So here's the drinking game. Get some booze, drink every time we say sports, and go. We're going to talk about our personal, teams' personal moments in sports? Not personal moments in reading or understanding English. We're going to talk about what has happened to us.
We're gonna talk about our lives and how bad we are at sports.
And then we're going to have a top 5 about our favorite athletes.
It's a KFP top 5. It's a thing now. KFP,
It's a KFP?
top 5.
Are we going to have to hashtag that on Twitter now?
It's hashtag KFP top 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sweet.
Because, everybody really participates
Well,
in the
we'll-
hashtagging. Lance and Brock, that was pretty
We had
much
millions that we'll talk about in our special Nerd Week in Review mini episode.
Ooh, special episode coming this week.
Yeah,
Everybody
so-
just got really excited. A lot of 6 to midnight.
Both of your mothers got very excited that we're...
The only 2 people that really listened to it. We had 61 views. It's just Justin's mom and my mom. How does this YouTube work? Over and over and over and over and over. Tell them about what's coming after all the sports talk.
Oh, I forgot about the best...
Oh, how'd you forget?
Because I wrote it because it's me.
Oh, you
I'm an
got-
idiot.
okay.
I'm a giant idiot. We have a great Dawn story time.
Yeah,
It's
another
gonna-
story time, which involves bathrooms at work again. So, something to look forward to.
I can't wait.
If you don't want to hear any of this other shit, just skip to the 57-minute mark, I'll guess.
Why don't you just check the screen now? Because it'll probably say...
It's staring at you right now.
Yeah, it'll
Skip to
tell
there and
you.
hear the story, and then come back.
Yeah. Read up on sports, and then...
I like how you just put us in the future. That was great.
Little time travel.
Yeah.
So, let's go first. NHL playoffs.
So the big story is what?
The Penguins beat the shit out of the Washington... Well, didn't beat the shit.
Well,
we barely got...
4-2 is a good, decent.
Yeah, but we won
Ass
in
whooping.
overtime. But we now are advancing to the finals, or not the Eastern Conference
Eastern
finals
Conference Finals.
against the
Lightning.
yeah,
Which I think is going to be an even tougher series than against the Caps.
I would have agreed with you if Stamkos and their defensemen were healthy. I don't think that Stamkos is going to be back for the series. And
I don't think they need him.
You don't think?
The only thing that got them through was they got a hot goaltender.
Oh, so
Sometimes
sexy.
that's all, he is really sexy. I have to give you that. But sometimes that's all you need. You get a goaltender that's just praising and making the saves,
But I think if Sid or Gino gets hot,
which I don't think
So
is going to
hot.
happen.
I think that was it Hagelin, Bonino,
It's that third
Kessel
line.
line
Yeah.
is going to go off again. I also think that maybe the Malkin line could have a possibility of going off because they don't have their defenseman their depth at defenseman is not as strong as other teams we've already faced.
The Lightning are fast, though.
They are fast, but they play the same game that we play. It's very very north-south hockey. And it's very quick, but I think that we play a better game of that. So it's going to be quick. You're not going to see 2-3, finals for a game. It's not.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 5-6.
In Tampa, I mean, they were a bitch last year in the playoffs. I mean, they took my team to the limit.
Yeah,
They're scrapping.
and that's what people forget too. That team does.
Have experience.
Yeah, they've been in the finals as of last year, so they are nothing to.
I will say that I said this to my wife and got yelled at for it, but because I'm always referencing Chicago somehow.
Exactly.
I think the Penguins are going to win the Stanley Cup because I see a lot of similarities to how the Blackhawks playoffs were going last year.
The who?
Do you want me to say it again? Chicago, not Black Hawks, Ken. Meaning that I feel like in a lot of these playoffs, like a lot of these teams are all really good, and sometimes when it's your year, it's just your year.
Yeah.
you get the bounces.
You get the bounces. Chicago, all those cups they won, they got the bounces.
The hockey gods smiled upon them.
And you looking at overtime Penguin game, that was they got the bounce.
They came out of that overtime like a house on fire.
They did, but they got the bounce.
They did
Because he put it right up in there, and then it
hit off Hagelin's back.
came right out to him.
Yeah.
Like they just got the bounce.
So, I agree.
Sometimes when it just happens like that, that's how it was. Chicago against St. Louis, it just wasn't bouncing their way. You
Yeah.
know, St. Louis is another team that looks like it's their year.
Wow, because they dominated last night.
They
Dallas.
killed Dallas.
It was 5-1. I watched it just to see what was happening, and it was 4-0. Not even halfway through the second. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
So it was pretty impressive.
yeah, they are really good.
And as we were recording this, so you can kind of date it, San Jose's up 2-0 on Nashville.
Okay.
So if it ends up being San Jose versus St. Louis, that's going to be very
Yeah, I like St.
entertaining.
Louis, and I think you're going to be playing St. Louis, and they are tough.
Yeah, they are.
They have a good goaltender, and they are just physically tough.
And the one of the people I hate the most in sports works for them.
Who?
Martin Brodeur is in their office.
Why do you have such a problem with him?
Suck a dick. I hate that guy.
Are you bleeping that one?
God,
We go into it whenever I talk about my top 5 and who my number 1 is,
Oh,
but I
okay.
can't stand Martin
he
Brodeur.
just rubs you the wrong
He's
way.
I hate him.
I
I'm not
can't
saying
watch
he's.
games.
Why can't you watch the game?
I'm a jinx.
See, now I agree with you. I have a whole. Now we all
You
have.
to make me look normal.
I can't watch Penn's games live. I have to listen to them on the radio.
In the dark, in your underwear.
Yes.
With a pipe.
With a pipe. A corn cob
I'm
pipe.
going to make that image.
I have a corn cob pipe if you want me to.
You in the dark. You in the dark with a pipe with Mike Lang on the radio and Mindy Hind in a corner because she can't speak when the Penguins are on.
I can't wear Penn stuff on game day,
Oh, my God.
and I can't watch the game. Case in point. After the store closed Thursday,
Yeah?
we were up 3-0 or 3-1 when I left here.
Okay.
I go to watch
You
the
went to
game.
a bar to watch
Went
it.
to the bar, watch a game with a couple of friends.
Right.
While I'm there, the other goal
And
happens.
it had nothing to do with you.
It had everything to do with it. It doesn't matter. Listen, of all people, you're going to tell me?
Seriously.
Hey, I made Chicago win 3 cups.
Oh, you made them. Did
By-
you just say that? You made them.
By what I did, by wearing certain shirts on certain days.
But me not wearing it, you're ridiculous. You
And
can't.
my wife telling me how, you have no control over this game. And I'm like, don't turn that on. They were screaming at her when they won the cup in 2013. I was like, shut it off. It's tied. And she was like, I'm putting it on. Put it on. They scored and the go ahead. And I'm like, shut it off. Screaming, shut it off. Actually fighting over it. And then I in 15 when they won it, in 13, I ruined that night by arguing with my wife over that. We couldn't even celebrate because we were fighting.
Yeah,
I'm acting like a child.
I was playing Ark as I usually do the other night.
Set it up.
So
Set it
here's
up,
the
baby.
screen.
Go
We
ahead.
have bottom left, we have Arc.
Okay.
No.
How many? Oh, wait a minute.
Give
Oh
it to
yeah,
him.
I'm sorry. You're right. Bottom
Bottom
left.
left. Because
Okay.
what is it? How many monitors are we going to have on this?
I have 3.
Yeah, we're going
We're
4.
going 4.
Yeah, we give you 4.
Because you're going to have Arc on the bottom on the left.
Yep.
Then you're gonna have
The Penguin game.
Penguin game.
No, it was YouTube on the
Bullshit
right.
YouTube.
Oh, bullshit
Yeah.
YouTube. Well, you have 4, so you have to figure out your situation.
Okay.
So it's Ark, bullshit YouTube theories, porn, Penguins game.
Say sorry to Wisconsin. Don't let her hear that.
I'm not sorry.
No, I won't put any image. Me and Ken actually had a meeting to talk about what the making an 8-monitor thing. We're sitting in the car talking about it. We're like, we're gonna have
That's
porn in
great.
the one and
I'll try and pull down.
your pants.
You guys
Don't do that
Do either
right
of you
now.
guys watch Silicon Valley?
No,
On
I
HBO?
can't. I never got into that show.
it's too
So
adult.
they're new. They got their new offices and they have like 30 monitor setups. I'll try and get a picture
That's
of it and send it to you.
Yeah.
30. Now I got to work on 30 images in that one.
He's not actually gonna have it. But anyways, you were watching.
So
the other
I
game
was
on.
I wasn't watching the game. I just was watching the live score, the play-by-play score thing.
Did that stream thing I sent you work?
I don't remember.
Oh well, then I
Let's not have a personal conversation
But
while
anyway,
we're podcasting.
Yeah. So I had the score. I was watching the live score, and it started to lag, and it wasn't keeping up with the score. And then I saw a tweet or something about 3-0, yeah. And so I was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna turn the game on and check this out. 3-0." Turned the game on. I watched it for a little bit. Scored, and I'm like, "Screw this! Turn it off." Score. And I'm like, "I turned the game on. It's my fault."
Now let's talk about when he used to watch games.
Oh,
Remember what he used to
I
do?
used to love watching the
Hashtag
games.
Let's go Pens. Let's go Pens.
Like 20
Let's go
times.
Pens.
God, I wish I could find an old image on your wall.
I'm
I'm sure there's gotta be
Look at your
screenshot it
Facebook
for you.
memories.
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's one in there.
I'll screenshot
He
it
used
for
to
you.
copy and paste "Let's go Pens"
Hashtag Let's go Pens.
like 50 times, and you would see it pop up on Facebook. Let's go Pens, let's go Pens, let's go Pens, and it used to make me and Ken so annoyed. We'd be like, what is he doing? Why is he doing all these hashtags?
Now, how long have you had this where you can't watch it? How long has this gone?
Tell us, cheese
It's
curl.
only been this season.
Okay.
I said cheese curl.
Oh, so that's 3.
Did you hear that one? That's
all right, let
3.
me get another one.
All right.
This for me has been going on past the first time we won the cup. Like whenever we'd go out to
So
the bar.
obviously it's not working because you haven't won a cup since 09, right?
Well, I started. Then
It doesn't work then.
It doesn't matter. It makes me feel like I'm doing something because whenever it happens, it happens.
Okay.
And it's not all my thing, but if the stars are aligned and the
Right.
bounces go their way, if I do my part, not wear Pens gear and listen to the game with my thing.
In the dark.
And I'm not in the dark. I was playing wrestling on Xbox.
Oh, we're gonna have to do some monitors for you.
No, I have one monitor.
one monitor.
I have my phone plays Penguin games.
My phone plays Penguin games.
And I play video games
right.
in my nice comfortable chair.
Okay.
So what were we even talking
I
about?
don't know what we're talking
I
about now.
might try and watch game 1 of the Lightning series.
I'm
and,
not.
and we'll
Yeah.
see how
it's-
that goes.
It's tomorrow night, right?
See,
Friday night.
I said this to you before. Like, I'm like you, how crazy when the Blackhawks play. I can't watch it. I get like so annoyed.
I get so anxious, but Mike Lang's voice soothes me so I
But
can handle it.
seeing how Pittsburgh is like my second favorite, like I cheer for. I'm not a huge fan, but I cheer for them for my wife and everybody else. You know, I can watch these games with ease.
Oh, okay.
Like I was so enjoying the overtime game and all that, where she's like a basket case, everybody's freaking out, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, what a good game. You know, like really enjoying it because it doesn't really bother me. You know. I'm like, oh, if they lose, it'll be okay. You know, if they win, hey, good for her.
There's a great, I forget where it's at on YouTube. Maybe I'll put the link on the Facebook page.
You won't, but that's okay.
Who's been posting stuff on the Facebook page?
3 posts does not equal a
I've
lot
done-
of work.
More than YouTube as of the last 7 days. But
Okay,
anyways,
go ahead.
there's, I guess one of the CSN guys that were reporting on the game was a Capitals fan. He goes, oh, he's like, you think that you have hopes and dreams. Like, you know, we won the President's Cup and this is the best team we've ever had in the last 30 years. And he just pulls out a glass and he just starts drinking. And during the sports review broadcast.
Just so annoyed.
Just so, and he's like, he goes, Steph Curry's an MVP. You know why everybody likes him? Because he's actually won a championship. And he's like going off. It just looks miserable.
Well, it was cool seeing Ovechkin not win because I don't like him.
I don't like Ovechkin either.
So
can't
I didn't want to see him win. He's annoying.
I've hated the Capitals ever since that we used to play them in Yager and what's his name? Yager was on their team and someone else would be with an L. It wasn't Lang, because that's who broadcasts our stuff.
Should we just sit here dead air while you think about it?
No, we can. I'll just skip over it. But I've hated them since Yager left for them.
Do you know why I'm glad Washington also lost? Because who's the only team to win the President's Trophy and the Stanley Cup?
Oh, the stupid Blackhawks.
2013. Sorry. All right, I'm done. Okay.
Your team's won more cups. It's fine.
That's all right. You're catching up. You'll win one this year.
What have you with what your original 6 team and you've won 3 cups?
Yeah. 6 cups.
So, sorry, 6
Yeah.
cups.
They won in like the 30s and then in the 60s and then not till 2010.
All right. Just making sure that the
It's
original.
not like the Canadians who have like what 72 cups or
the
something like that.
Canadians.
It's ridiculous. But the thing about them is nice. They haven't won one in like 15 years.
Yeah.
It's like all right, but still.
They won like 14 in a row back in
Yeah.
the 20s.
Well, last time that they've won one was they had a good guy on their team, a good goaltender.
That's true.
So
All right.
right.
What about the NBA? Anything going on in the NBA you want to talk about?
now I didn't research that. So you might.
Well, the Cavs. Ken is like a stupid Cavs fan, but he's not really.
I'm not a Cavs fan. I'm a LeBron James
Oh,
fan.
it's so annoying. He's a Pittsburgh guy who hates Cleveland.
I hate Cleveland with
Despises Cleveland. Stupid LeBron goes back to Cleveland and he's all on the bandwagon now. He does it just to irritate me. It's the only reason he's a Cavs fan. And if he ends up on his top 5 athletes, I'm flipping the table on top of him and killing him. You're going to hear a murder on a podcast tonight. Because it's bullshit. It's such bullshit.
I think he's great.
You don't follow him. You don't pay any attention to him until I tell you, hey, your Cavs haven't lost in the playoffs yet. Oh, really? Cool. Sweet. And then he'll clap. Oh, yeah, baby. I'm like, don't get into it. You're not into it. You weren't even following it. Now, all of a sudden, you're so excited about it.
Yeah.
I hate them. They're going to lose to Curry and the Warriors again anyway.
No way.
Yeah, they are.
They're healthy this year.
Because let me tell you what, that Steph Curry boy.
Steph Curry's good, but he's going to actually have to play basketball against the Cavaliers, and he's going to hurt his leg again.
No, he's fine. He's healthy. I have never seen anybody shoot like that. It's like watching NBA jams.
It's like someone put a cheat code on him.
Yeah, it's like a cheat code. That's what it looks like.
He's on fire!
That's what it looks like. 'Cause I've seen
someone's-
people make shots, and I go, okay, that's a good. Like I said, I love Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan used to take these like really good shots and make unbelievable shots. Steph Curry just runs down, throws it up from wherever, and it
Yeah.
goes right in.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
We said earlier, like he has a mutant power.
He does.
Yeah.
He somehow magnetizes the ball to go straight to the hoop.
It's just telekinesis.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I better miss one. All right,
yeah.
all right. Now I'm going to make some ridiculous one.
He's like, look at this from the toilet.
It's ridiculous. It's insane. But anyway,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what they have.
It's good. Well, before we go too far, I did want to say, do we have any predictions what the Stanley Cup Finals are going to be? Do you think it's going to be Pens versus?
I think it's going to be Pens Blues,
All right.
and I think Pens win in 7.
What do you think they do with against St. Louis, or not St. Louis, against Tampa Bay?
4-2.
They're in 6 games.
6 games.
All right. What do you think, Cheese?
It's Cheese-It.
4?
That's only 4?
It's only 4.
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been watching a lot of the games. I've been seeing
All right, he has
scores
no
and stuff
opinion.
like
Next.
That.
So
What do you think? 4-2? 4-1?
4-2 sounds good.
All right.
I think it's going to go 6 games.
Okay.
And then it's going to
I just like to say Pens in 7.
because it looks like penis.
Yeah, because it looks like penis.
So I actually hope San Jose would win. I'd like to play San Jose. St. Louis
The
scares me too
Sharks.
much.
St. Louis should scare you. That's a scary
Yeah.
team.
I don't want anything to do with that. I would feel personally, I'd like to beat them because then I could be like.
Then you
go-
can brag it in.
Yeah,
The
go ahead.
Blackhawks lost to St. Louis and we beat them.
Yeah. Well, no, just because Martin Brodeur doesn't get any.
Oh, would you let it go with Mark
No, I
Brodeur?
can't. I hate him.
I'm just going to have
Who
his-
else has banged his wife's sister or something weird? He banged somebody in his family. Totally broke up marriages. He's an asshole.
I'm just going to have his image the entire time we talk. Just him. Anytime you talk, his image is coming on the screen.
I'm gonna Google.
Have his image and then we'll make you get tough on this one, like a PowerPoint presentation where Ken with red eyes and horns just slides into the frame.
That's way too hard. I can't do that in paint. So, real quick, while we're talking sports, our teams play again this week. Pirates Cubs.
Which is huge because the Pirates are only back a game and a half
of what?
from first place from the Cubs.
What are you following? They're 7 games behind the Cubs.
Really?
They're a game and a half in the wild card race.
Oh, no, my bad. Sorry.
They're 7 games behind Chicago right now because Chicago lost 2 games yesterday, surprisingly.
Last time when I looked it up, I thought it was different. So
No.
I apologize.
So,
I apologize.
You apologize. If they sweep the Cubs, then they would be 4 back.
If we win 1 game, I'll be happy. If we win 2, I'll be surprised.
Okay.
And it's because we have to play Arrieta on Saturday.
You have to play them one time, yeah.
Yeah.
But they've been struggling a little bit. They're starting to come down off their high, so
Good.
we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. Our bet is still on. What's our bet again?
I don't know. I forget.
'Cause it's dinner. I'm up 3-0
Yeah,
so
I know.
far.
It's going to be a rough season.
Okay, I don't know what that noise was. All right, so let's move into our whatever this weird segment we were going to transition to. We decided that, us three aren't really the best athletes in the world. I'm the worst
speak for
athlete in the world.
yourself. I was good at sports when I was younger.
You were?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what happened?
I quit playing sports.
Yeah.
Well, me and Ken are really tall, and I was like tall when I was like in 4th grade tall, and my father was like really good at basketball, and I was horrible.
Yeah.
These huge hands I have, I had them when I was like 10. I could palm a basketball being like 10 years old and couldn't do anything with it. People were like, "Oh my God, you can palm that ball, you're so tall." And then he'd be like, "Wow, he is horrible."
I never got asked to play. Like, whenever I was in, like, 7th or 8th grade, my guidance counselor was like, you should play football. You should play football.
You're a big kid.
Yeah,
You're 6'5" and you're 8.
Yeah. But I'm like, I don't want to play football. I want to read comics and listen to grunge music. Like,
I want to go play G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
so I never played sports. And also, too, I had a lot of leg injuries as a kid. Like,
Why'd you have so many leg injuries?
I broke my one leg twice, and I chipped a bone in my left leg.
Doing what? Were you parkouring back in the day when it wasn't cool to parkour?
I was in a bicycle accident. Broke my leg.
I don't know why that's funny, but I don't know why you're in so many accidents.
You think that's funny? You should hear this one. I broke my one leg walking down a hill that was no taller than 2 foot tall.
Doing what?
I just walked down and twisted my fell down. Big gangly legged idiot had just broke a leg because I was too big. All right, so here's the whole story.
All right, give the whole story.
So in elementary school, someone brought a horse that we could ride for school. It's like a show and tell thing.
Show and tell, and they show up with a horse.
They show up with a horse.
So like a
Was it my
pony.
neighbors?
No, it was
right.
like a small horse, and then I walk up. They're like, "You can't get on the horse. You're too big for
You're
it."
too big.
Because
Hey, big boy.
Yeah, I've always been a large person. So I'm like, whatever. So I go and like walk down this hill and like twisted my leg, and I was like, whatever, it hurts. And I went through half a day of school. I'm like, oh, my leg's not getting any better. And I go back to, I just broke it like in like fractured it.
Just
and
for falling down a little too
yeah,
far hill.
2 foot hill.
And how old were you?
I don't know, like 10 something. I don't
My
know.
God, that's so funny.
Yeah. So I couldn't play a lot of sports because the doctor said because I had bad knees and
Yeah.
so. But then I started playing hockey whenever I was.
What would you say was your
teenager.
most embarrassing moment when you were a kid playing sports?
I only played one.
Or anything with kids in the yard. I mean, I never played organized because I would never go out for anything.
I've always been like just awkward. Like
Me
the
too.
only time that I was ever good was, or not even good. I shouldn't even give myself that much credit. I was decent enough to be picked sometimes to play street hockey goalie.
Okay.
I've been goalie for a couple teams, and we
'Cause
won
you filled the
some
whole
games.
net.
Yeah, exactly. I was large, somewhat
That kid
flexible.
will fit the whole net. Get him in there. He'll never get a shot in there.
But yeah, I never had something where like like someone like, busted nothing funny. Like it was all like sad. Like, wow, that kid's
Sad
pathetic.
stories.
Yeah, that kid's a piece of shit. Like I played one season of organized baseball and that was about it.
And how about you, Cheese Will? You
I
were
played-
you were an athlete?
I played Little League from the time I was 6 or 7 until I was 15.
Were you good?
I played soccer. I played second base. I was on
knew?
all-star
I
teams.
don't know. Also, traveling
Wow,
teams.
traveling and everything.
Well,
Did you ever have
for
an
soccer,
embarrassing moment?
I was on traveling soccer.
You know what I hate the most? Soccer.
Yeah.
Like people
my
that
my,
play
embar-
soccer.
my embarrassing moment is actually from high school. I threw discus for the track team.
Who does that?
My mom's gonna love this story. She's
Okay.
sitting in the chair listening to this
She
clapping
can't wait
right now.
Why she's in her chair? What, is she in the same chair as Ken?
She's
In the
smoking
dark?
a pipe in the dark.
So it was my first real like traveling meet that we went to,
Okay.
and you get 3 throws in the rotation. You get 3 attempts to get the farthest throw.
Mm-hmm.
My first one, I threw. It was a really great throw, but it was just outside the line.
Okay.
So, in the second throw, it was wet and kind of a cold, rainy day, and I slipped and just kind of
I don't know why that's funny.
just kind of
Okay.
flipped it, and it was a horrible throw. So my third one,
Okay.
I was going up there because I really wanted to do well. First year in track, I was trying to make the district meet, and to make
Hey, everybody.
to make the district
district.
meet, you had to get a certain distance. So my third and last attempt, I was going up there just trying to whip it. I held on to it just a little bit too long.
Oh my god.
The discus flies off to my left, hits my mother in the crowd.
It hit your mother.
It hit my mother in the crowd. Mom, I'm sorry, but I know you're laughing at the story
Oh
right
my
now.
God.
And so that was kind of embarrassing. That was bad.
That is great. Did she yell at you?
No, they kind of laughed it off. I mean, she
this-
ducked and it hit her like in the shoulder, and
She's like, "What are you doing, cheese slice?
6.
Quit hitting me with discus." That's pretty funny. Your poor mom.
yeah.
Here's my son. Then it's like, shit!
Everybody move!
Everybody move!
So that's my embarrassing. I can't think of any other.
No. I guess it was
Really
only me that was a complete
embarrassing.
idiot when he was a kid.
I actually thought of something that.
Yeah.
So, did you have to run a mile in your gym class?
Yeah, and I don't know if it was a mile, but we had to run. Yeah.
Before we could graduate past gym, we had to
Oh,
run a
this is
mile.
gonna be great.
So the Seneca Valley track that you have to run it 4 times, but it's across the high school football field.
Okay.
So when the gym teacher had his back turned, I ran across the football field. So I'd run like halfway and go slow, and then he turned his back, and it's fat me hustling as much as I could. And then all the people in my class were like, what is he doing?
Just cheating.
Just blatantly cheating.
Oh, that's great. That's a good one.
So sorry, that's the other thing.
No, that's great. I love it. I mean, I was just so uncoordinated. And like our neighborhood, all the kids would play stuff. So all the kids would play like, instead of playing baseball, we would play rubber ball. We'd get like buy those, like at Kmart, those hard rubber balls.
Those pink ones?
And they weren't pink; they were like all white.
Okay.
And eventually they would split open. You'd have to get a new one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like instead of using baseball, so we wouldn't put out a window, but we'd put out windows anyway. And we'd play in this field, and like all day in the summer we'd play. And one summer, I struck out 40 times in a row. 40 times in a row. And it began a thing where like people would be like, "Here he comes again," and everybody's just laughing to the point where the kids playing would put their gloves down and go, "He ain't gonna get a hit." And I'd be like, "I'm gonna get a hit." And my cousins would be like, "You're gonna get a hit. Just keep your eye on the ball." And I'd get up there and strike out. And I used to get so pissed.
No, like 19, you'd be like, F this, I'm going inside.
No, well, I mean, it was like through different games. So I struck out 5 times in that game,
Okay.
5 times in it. I was over 5 in the next
So
game.
some poor kid was keeping stats.
Yeah, somebody. Well, it was my cousin just being an asshole, tallying it on the bat or whatever, and he'd be like, "Oh, that's 38 strikeouts," and I'd be like, then I would lose my cool and throw the bat at somebody and then attack them.
See, we played wiffle ball.
Yeah, we would
And-
play wiffle ball too.
and-
I could hit it with the big fungo bat or
Well,
whatever.
see, the big fungo bat. I was so like competitive with baseball. Not when I was real little, but like
Were you one of those goobers that put stones in the wiffle ball to make curveballs?
No, I wasn't during baseball season. I wasn't allowed to use the big bat because it affected my regular swing.
Oh my god.
What? That's
Mark
that's,
McGuire over here.
It sounds like that's. Come on, if you didn't hear that story, come on, you'd be like, you're one of those kids that were weird about. Yeah.
Let's kick him out of this group. Good old extra cheese over there.
Nope, 7.
And he interrupted my story. But yeah, to tell us how good he was. I wasn't allowed to use wiffle ball bats because it would ruin my swing. I can only use the good stuff. That's pretty funny. So what else? I was always picked last. We would play basketball at like my friend's house. We'd always pick up whatever, the kids in the neighborhood. We'd all play. It didn't matter if you had 10 girls, 4-year-olds. I was getting picked last. Like I'd be in that line like, come on, man! Like, you're gonna
Throw me a bone.
and they'd be like, we'll play with Shelly. I'd be like, you're really not gonna pick me, and I'd be last. I'd have to be on someone's team last because I was that bad.
They
at
get
basketball.
they get down to the final 2, and they're like, hey, "Where's the neighborhood kid in the wheelchair?"
Is there a 95-year-old man that could play? I was just so terrible. I couldn't shoot. I could never shoot. My father tried to teach me how to properly shoot because my dad's a really good basketball player. He has a beautiful shot. Even at his age now, he can still shoot really well. Yeah. And he was teaching me in our outside our garage where the basketball hoop hung. And I'm like, and I would just do like the 2-hand wild throw, I was just wild. And he's teaching me proper form. And the first time I did it, I took it, shot it, and went right through the glass in the garage door. And it stuck in the glass. So the glass was around and the ball was the center. And he was like, what the hell was it? What do you get out of here? Go in the house. And I'm like, oh, sorry. Like, perfect form, though. Just 5 feet lower and right into the glass of the garage. Like a big idiot.
That's amazing.
So I have one more embarrassing story.
Okay.
So when I was in college, we played intramurals, and we had like an intramural team that we would play, like our floor. Everybody would pick different names. So like the real good kids who were good at sports, they went. This is the time wrestling was big. They went by the NWO.
Oh, of course.
So we were the BWO. I think I've told you this story.
I don't think
before.
so, but I know what the. Yeah.
And we were like, making fun of ourselves. And I was dating this girl that just started like going out with this girl.
I call shenanigans on this entire story
And-
because you were
and-
dating someone.
Oh, stop it. And she comes to watch us play, and I strike out 3 times in slow pitch softball. A girl throwing the ball to me.
Poor
Wow.
dog.
And that was the last I saw of her. She was
Seriously?
Yeah, she was like,
Oh, what a bitch!
like what are you doing? This
Here's-
is embarrassing. Because you know what? Here's my thing. I sucked at sports, but I always looked good. I was a poser. So I'd
White baseball hat.
Yeah, we played in the neighborhood. I'd have Newmans on, and
You're Xander.
yeah, I was like,
Xander's good. Okay,
Xander's
so-
good. He looks the part and he's good. My
Yeah.
stepson looks good, but he's also really good. I would show up looking good. So when we play baseball, I have the batting glove and look good, and I get up and strike out. And I'm like, oh boy, this is great. Or the one time I did connect with him, we were playing, and I hit it so far behind us, it hit my own car and shattered my own windshield in my father's car. I parked his car like all the way back behind the net, the cage, so it wouldn't get hit. And I swung like real hard. I hit this ball up in the air, and I'm like, oh shit, where's that going? And it just right down into the windshield. I'm like, oh my god, like only I would do something so stupid like that. But
That's hilarious.
yeah, but if it wasn't, if it wasn't me being embarrassing, it was me getting hurt, which leads us into our next part. Sports injuries. You have a good one, don't you?
I do.
Well, you broke your leg walking down a hill, so I can't imagine what
I
you did
can't wait to
before.
hear the sport one.
So I used to play a lot of deck hockey because at that time Penn's won 2
Not
cups.
dick hockey.
Not
deck
dick.
hockey.
Yeah, we didn't play hockey on a dick.
Deck hockey, I had never heard of until I moved to Pittsburgh. From
Really?
a small town. Is deck hockey in rollerblades or on your shoes?
It's in your shoes, right?
It's in your shoes.
Okay.
But
You play it in your shoes.
everybody get my shoe. So when we played, we used to play near my house in Zillionople. There was a youth home for like wayward youth kind of situation, and I knew
Say youth one more time. There's a youth home for youths and a youth community with youth.
Wayward youths.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
so. I knew the guy's family that ran it, so they had 2 gymnasiums. If there was nothing going on with the school or whatever they're doing, we were allowed to use the gymnasiums to play hockey. So we could play on rollerblades or on shoes. And I played in a couple deck hockey, which is just shoes, and I played on a roller team. I can't rollerblade because my ankles are weak, so I would play goalie where I can play on shoes.
I would love to see you play on rollerblades.
How about you shut your mouth?
I mean, not like I'm any good. I mean, come on.
So-
Imagine me on rollerblades.
So there was one time when we were playing, and I was playing left wing, which didn't happen often.
Okay.
If I played defense or I played goalie. But we were short somehow, or one guy, I didn't bring my... Oh, no. This was before I started playing goalie because I didn't have goalie equipment, which leads into why the injury got me full goalie
All
equipment.
right. What's the injury then?
So I was playing left wing. A friend of mine went to shoot the puck, or shoot the ball at the goalie. I was going around...
You played with a ball, not a puck?
Yeah, with a ball, because it was easier to go on the floors.
Okay.
So I came around his left side, which is where his stick follow through was.
All right.
And his stick went directly into my eye. And,
Into your eye?
Yeah, like right here. Not this scar from my eyebrow, but this one right here.
But did it hit your eyeball?
If I wouldn't have flinched, it would have did something to my eyeball and I would have lost sight.
Oh, my God.
So I had 9 stitches in my eye. The funny part was that's not the story. The funny part was
That's not the funny part.
my buddy Matty, because it swelled up so fast and
Yeah.
it was such a bloody mess. They thought I lost my eye, so my buddy Matty was running around going, "Where's his eye? Where's his eye?" Because it just was swollen
Oh,
shut.
yeah,
and
those
I
are
was
the
a
worst.
bloody mess. And then they had to call the ambulance to take me to get stitches. And the whole ride up, I'm like, who are these people yucking it up in the front seat? They think this is the greatest thing ever because it hurt. I couldn't see because it hit me so hard. I had a concussion.
Wow.
It like messed me up. So I come to find out my brother-in-law knew the ambulance driver and decided to ride up with him.
Dirty
and
Rick.
Dirty Rick is in the ambulance while I'm getting like, and they're like long lost pals, yucking it up, and I'm bleeding out my face. And I was so mad. And my dad picked me up and goes, we're going to go get you hockey equipment because I'm tired of paying for emergency room.
Wow.
So it's a lot cheaper. So from that point on, I played goalie and defense because I had the equipment for it.
That's great.
Yeah.
What about you, Cheesecake?
Oh, this is getting good.
I got so many. As you're talking, I'm Googling them and writing them down. It's great.
I don't have any good funny stories. I hurt my knee in college during
These are all going to be sad.
during judo practice. I had a 4th degree black belt try a leg sweep attempt and came through the side of my knee instead of through the back of my knee like they're supposed to. My foot stuck to the mat. And,
This story, I have no idea what you're talking about.
yeah, it's just, it's,
All you know is some dude kicked my leg really hard and it broke.
Oh, it's
I
great.
mean, but I didn't break anything. I just it stretched some tendons out, and I limped for a month and a half because it happened the day after my parents' health insurance dropped me because I graduated. So I had no insurance. I couldn't afford to go to the doctor. So, but yeah, no fun injuries.
Injuries are fun.
I
all
like
of a
that my
sudden.
bloody face was.
Yeah.
Well, now you can sit back and laugh about it.
Well, that's because my people that were stupid that was around me.
That's great. So that's it, cheese balls? No other injuries?
No.
Oh, wow. So I'll give you a couple. I was playing, we would play football in the street,
Oh, street football's great.
and it'd always be 2-on-2, play right outside of my grandmother's house. And I one time jumped in the air. I was like 8th grade maybe. I jumped in the air to catch a pass. And as I jumped at the kid, it was 2-hand tag. Put 2 hands like on my hips, like down here, because I was jumping.
Did he put his hands up on your hips?
Yeah, we were dancing. and it shot my legs up off from underneath me, so it went like the inverted.
Yeah.
Came right down on my collarbone, popped it, and then rolled over and popped it again. It didn't come out the skin. It was just like, it didn't like break the skin or anything, but you could see it protruding up. You know what I mean? It was horrible. And like my arm was like this, like it was really distorted looking. And I like got up and was, when you're trying to walk off that pain?
Yeah.
And you're
And it's
like,
only getting worse.
like trying to like, and you're like, all right, you okay? And I was like, I caught it, like I caught the pass. But I'm there like, oh my God, like so much pain. I couldn't even breathe. It would hurt so bad. So I walked up to my grandmother's house and they were always sitting outside eating and hanging out, And I come walking in and my mother saw my face and could see my arm. And was like, oh, what did you do? Like she's a nurse. So she got like, come here. And like comes over to my shirt, looks in there and was like, you got to go to the hospital. You got to go right now. And I'm like, no, we're playing. Because they were like, come back 5 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be right back. Because we play tournaments. I was screwing up the whole tournament. So she takes me to the hospital, and the main thing I was worried about was I had a Batman shirt on. It was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It was like Batman swinging with the light behind him, and they cut it off. I was like, can you not cut? And the guy's just like, snap, cuts it right off. I'm like, I didn't want you to... Like, damn it. Because they just, they just cut it right off, started working on the arm. But it was miserable because it was right at the beginning
I'll deal
of
with the
summer.
pain to take it off.
Yeah, I was like, just somehow get it off. But they put me in one of those things where, because you can't put a cast over there, they had the thing that would pull my shoulders back like this, and it would lock you in tight, look like you're like doing a rooster, And then they would put my arm like this and bandage it to me like this, like on my shoulder. And for a whole summer, I was just like that. It was miserable. I'd like walk around the neighborhood, everybody's playing, I'm like, yeah, and I just sit there, and every night they'd have to come in and pull it tighter and loosen it, and gotta take it off the shower. It's such a horrible injury, but
Well, I thought my summer with a full leg cast was bad.
that's bad. Yeah, well, I mean, at least I don't know. They get itchy. Casts get itchy.
Yeah, mine smelled. I was like a
yeah.
dirty kid that had. I mean, who
I never
knows?
showered anyway. Then I got the cast, and I really didn't shower.
So much plastic was used in my house to keep my leg out of the bathtub so I could take a shower every once in a
So
while.
how funny was that when you put bags over your cast and all that shit? But I had an eye injury too. I had a guy when we were playing football. Some stupid ass kid had to wear cleats.
Oh, what
like
a-
we're playing in a
what
street.
a
You don't need cleats.
Sorry.
And he had to wear these cleats, and he stepped right on my face. And the cleat went right through my eyelid, scratched my eye, and like cut my eye like that. And I was like, you effing idiot, what did you wear those for? And I had to go to the hospital. I was always getting stitches. I mean, I got stitches like every other week in the summer from cutting myself or like killing myself. No, but Is that? You got any more of us for there, cheese curds? Are you done? Move on to the next
I'm
topic.
good. You can move on.
All right. This is going longer than we thought.
It's fine. We're good. Just keep going.
So what we're gonna do now? It's
We were going to talk about if you've ever met anybody famous.
okay.
So we'll keep it short.
All right.
And we'll go. You have any?
Well, I mean, do you guys have any? Like,
I have somebody.
Okay.
I met. All right. So I went to. I never really met anybody famous, but being a big Chicago fan, I went and when Jordan retired, I actually went and saw him play when he came back, and we snuck into the place
Oh,
and
yeah.
got down in the seats, and I met Scottie Pippen and Tony Kukoc,
Tony
who were
Kukoc.
like played. They played for the Bulls in those championship years, and they both walked by, and like I stuck my hand down, and Scottie Pippen. I mean, I have big hands. Scottie Pippen's hands were like 20 times the size of mine. And just puts that big hand up, and he's like, "Hey man," that Pippen voice, and I was like, "Scottie, hey," and I shook his hand. I was like, good luck tonight or whatever. And he was like, "Hey, thanks." And then Tony Kukoc walks up, says something to us. We didn't understand what he was saying, with his Russian accent. And then after it was
I
over,
play for the team too.
they were beating the Rockets, who were the defending champs, by like 40. So we were like, let's leave because we were going to go to Jordan's restaurant. So we left. We went to Jordan's restaurant. We got right in, and we sat by this door because there was like 5 of us or something. And we're sitting there, and a lady comes over and was like, "That's Michael Jordan's room right behind you." We were like, "What?" She was like, "Yeah, he comes through here. He'll go eat." And we were like, "He's about to come right through here." And we were like, "Yeah, I mean, the game ended. They'll be here in about a half hour." We were like, we were like almost done eating. We just kept ordering stuff because you have to keep ordering.
Yeah.
We're like,
that's how she got you.
yeah. So we were like, we're waiting. And I went and bought like a poster and a shirt, all this stuff. I'm like, he'll sign, he'll stop. And we must have sat there for like an hour. And they're like, "Oh, his game's in Atlanta next night. He flew out already." And I was like, "You bitch." Like, you totally.
How's the waitress in this
Yeah.
restaurant know that that's
And
what's
I was
up?
like, "What?" I was like, "We just got played." Like, we sat here. It was probably the janitor's closet behind us in reality. But she's like, "That's where Jordan sits." We're like, "Oh."
It's a toilet.
It was a toilet.
That would have been funny.
Yeah. How about you, cheese sauce?
My story is one of those cautionary tales about how you
Don't put your dick in a. I don't know what's with me tonight.
Oh, you're all about dicks tonight for some reason.
how you
Poor Mindy.
you never you don't necessarily want to meet your heroes, because I met Jordan and he was an asshole.
Well, where'd you meet him at? At that
strip
golf
club.
thing?
No, I met him. I was
You were trying to sell him?
no
I hit him with the discus in my eyes.
that would have been good. No, during
Watch out, Mr. Jordan! Ting.
It was during. It was
God
during
damn
the
it, cheese
tournament.
dip! What did you do? You hit me in the head with a...
It was during the tournament, but afterwards they would go and they had the silent auction.
The Mario Lemieux thing?
Yeah, the Mario
He's
Lemieux
an
tournament.
asshole there for some reason.
And it wasn't at the tournament. They would go and do the silent auction downtown at that Bossa Nova. I think they used to hold their
Okay.
silent auction down there.
Say
And then
silent auction one
Their
more time.
whole group, their entourage, would come out afterwards.
Was Barkley with him?
Barkley was with him. I was a bouncer at Matrix, and they would come down to Matrix, and so
That's what I wanted to see when I go to Matrix. Charles Barkley.
Do you like all night? He's just all these topics.
I'm sorry.
He keeps making himself look so cool.
Me?
He does. I was so good at baseball.
yeah.
I couldn't use the regular bat. I was a bouncer. I was doing judo when I was down there.
This should be the.
This should be the cheese is so much cooler than everybody else.
anyway.
Yeah. Go ahead, cheese Danish. I'm sorry.
What's he up to now?
I'm not going to say because maybe we'll run a
All right,
contest.
go
with
ahead.
someone.
Keep talking. Go ahead.
So, and he was a jerk. He was cheap. They had a waitress that served just their table all night long. No tip.
No tip?
No tip. Barkley looked at him and just shook his head, pulled $200 out of his pocket and threw it on her tray. Barkley was awesome. Barkley was the life of the party. Did you ever go to Matrix? They had that bar
Yeah, like
behind
20 years ago.
Well, yeah, it's
It's not open anymore.
No,
Did you ever
it's
go to
not.
Last week I was there.
Anyway, they had that bar behind the DJ booth where the girls would get up and dance. Barkley was up on the bar dancing with all the girls.
Well, he's cool.
He was amazing. Jordan,
Is that when he was drunk and having all those DUI charges?
Probably.
he was just a jerk all night long. And so that was my tale of meeting Michael Jordan, who I loved until that moment.
See, I actually was at one of those things too, and I met them both there. And Jordan ignored everybody, and Barkley came over and shook everybody's hand, and he was nice and stuff. But oh well. How about you? Who'd you meet?
Well, the most recent one I can remember is I was able to have dinner with, or beers and some food with Billy Guerin and Phil Bork.
Yeah, I remember this night.
Yeah. I get made fun of this night because I actually got to sit next to Billy Guerin and we had a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I told him where I worked. He was very excited about where I worked and said he was needing things for his kids' Christmas presents coming up. And he gave me his card, and I never called
Yep.
him because
He was so excited that he got Billy Guerin, who played for the Penguins.
Billy Guerin was like my favorite player when he played for him. Like,
Right.
I used to call him Snake Eyes.
There was something about it. I love Billy Guerin.
And he's
Everybody
like
knows.
whenever they won the cup, he like took it to the beer distributors. A picture of him just laying in a bunch of beer, holding the cup. It's great.
So he's so excited about this guy. He meets him. The guy says, "Here's my number. Call me, and I'll come out and buy some stuff from your store." And I said, "Oh, wow, that's really cool." I'm like, "We going to call him like tomorrow or this week?" No, I want to give him some time. I don't want to seem weird and creepy.
Because-
and then he never calls him because he's
I
lazy.
overthink things. It's not because I was lazy.
Oh, you overthink it. You overthunk your way right out of that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I could, and then I still get grief from not just you, but other friends of mine. They're like, you could have been best friends with
Yeah,
him.
you could have been. He could have been coming out here all the time. He could have been on this podcast right now. with
Yeah,
us.
he could have,
Let's
but-
pretend he's here, sitting right there next to Cheese Nips.
But what was cool about it was it wasn't like just a meet. I have to mark it though. It wasn't like where I get to meet them and shake their hands.
Yeah.
Like I got to sit there and have beers with them
On
and
their
they told,
lap.
sit on their lap
Yeah.
like Santa Claus, and they were telling stories about what they did with the cup the days that they had it. Like Phil Bork told a story about how he actually took the cup apart and engraved his name on the inside of it on one of the rings.
Wow.
While he was drunk, like it was all this like
That's really hard to do. Like you need tools and
yeah,
everything.
that's what he said. He said he was drinking beer and he's like, and it was loose because I think the infamous pool.
Oh, yeah, is
story-
that the one where it ended up at the bottom of Mario's
Yeah,
pool?
yeah. So he made it seem like it was loose because some other antics happened.
Yeah.
And he went to fix it, and then he got the bottom off, and he's like, "Well, who else has been inside this?" And he carved his.
Is he talking about the cup still, or some woman they were passing around? Who are they talking about there?
the cup.
right.
So I
That's cool.
got to have dinner with them, and it was very cool. And it was just I got tagged along with a buddy of mine that his buddy ended up winning the tickets to go do it. So it was cool.
I got tagged along. What was the game you were telling me you were at? You were at a significant game.
Oh, I was actually at the third longest NHL game of all time.
How many overtimes?
I don't know how many overtimes. You can probably figure out. It was 92 minutes. So 60 minutes is a game.
No, this is too much math. Let's move on. Who
So
was it?
It was Philadelphia against Pittsburgh in 90. Let me see. I wrote it down. It was in 2000.
It was into the fifth overtime.
Yeah. And
Were you tired as shit?
Yes. And
It was like 4 a.m.
it was late because it was probably a 7 o'clock. You know, it was 7:30 start. We lost. I was sitting in front of two
What a
annoying.
letdown after 5 overtimes.
And you know what? It was against Philadelphia, and I hate
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Everybody, yeah.
Boston, Philadelphia, and Cleveland could just be shithole parking lots for all I care.
No, we can't say that because my buddy Brian is from Philly, who listens to this regularly.
All right.
He's a big supporter of us.
So that guy-
For Brian Zach,
All right, Brian,
let's
I'm
say,
sorry.
Brian, Philly's okay. We love you. Thanks for listening and being our big
Was
supporter.
it East Street? I was in Philly once, and East Street was cool.
Yeah,
I bought a
there's
Misfit
some cool
shirt there.
things.
But, like, I don't know, sports teams.
Brian was my roommate at WVU
Oh, really?
all those years.
Should we
ago.
have him on the podcast sometime?
Well, I told him the other day we should have him on here. He said, I can't drive all the way up there. He said, let's have me on Skype. And I said, all right, we'll do a Skype cast live from Maryland or wherever he's from.
Let's do it. We got to figure out a time that something's happening with Philly, and we can
All right?
do it.
We'll do it. Do it.
Do it to it.
So I had one more meat story. A meat story. This is a story about meat. There was turkey and roast beef, and we had a cheese grater. Yeah, another one.
You didn't call him it, though.
He is
You
the
said you
cheese.
had
He
cheese
is the cheese grater. That's him.
I don't think that one should count.
It counts. Shut up. Be quiet over there, cheese puffs. So anyway,
It's going to be a long podcast. We haven't got to our top 5 yet.
we'll get to it. It's happening. So real quick, I used to do security. You know the guys that were the event staff stuff?
Yeah.
At Three River Stadium before they blew it up?
Yeah.
And I worked there one summer with the Pirates.
Okay.
And it was miserable. I mean, it was like there all day long. I was the guy in the suit on the field,
Oh, okay.
looking up at the crowd, looking for people having sex up in the rafters, because that's really all you did. Believe it or not, a lot of people have sex in the rafters at Three River Stadium because the Pirates were so bad back then. There was nothing to do, so they'd just be like, what's going on up there, and you have to look up there and you'd be like, yep, section, yeah, something's going on up there, and they'd go arrest people. But anyway, that was the summer. There was all that home run stuff going on
Home run?
with like Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, all
yeah.
those guys. Remember they were all on steroids,
Yeah,
hitting a bunch of home runs. So I met all those guys that year because every time I'd work visitor dugout,
Oh, okay.
and then like Mark McGuire would walk in with his team, and you'd be like, hey, and Sammy Sosa and all those guys were there.
That's cool.
So it was cool. The best guy though that I ever met though was Tony Gwynn from the
San Diego Padres.
San Diego. It was the nicest guy you've ever met in your life.
Really? I've actually heard that.
He was so cool. Like you'd sit there and talk to you because the rest of them, like McGuire would just stand there and be like, hey, like be like, oh, hi, Mr. McGuire, like how are you? And like even me being a Cubs fan, Sosa wouldn't really talk. He was just kind of like, oh hey. But like Tony Gwynn would sit down and like be like, it's raining again here in Pittsburgh. Is it ever dry here in Pittsburgh? And we'd all be
you're from San
laughing, And then he would tell us he would invite us down when they would do like when it was a rain delay, they'd just go downstairs and like have batting practice. And when the game would get like rained out, and then they would just order all this food to have a party, and he'd invite us down because the Pirates would never do it because they would like leave or go home, they wouldn't stay there.
Yeah.
But the Padres would be there, and they'd be like, "It's raining, come downstairs." It happened twice, and you'd go down there, and they're just like, "Yeah, get those guys a beer." We're like, "Oh, all right." Tony Gwynn said it's all right, so hey,
That's cool.
that's pretty cool. But I had an embarrassing moment once there because you're not allowed to watch the game. You have to watch the crowd to see if anyone's fighting, and I had this ball boy who was like a newer one. They catch the ball for you or you're gonna get beamed. And I heard it come off the bat, and I could tell it was coming our way. And he just puts his glove out, misses it. It hits off the top of his glove and drills me in the side of the leg. And I jump in the air and land on the ground, tear my pants, get grass stains everywhere, and the crowd's chanting, "You got effed up." And I'm like, yeah, and I'm bowing, going, okay. I mean, there's like 30 people in the crowd. And that's they're going, "You got it," and they're laughing at me. I was like, great. I needed to be made. And he's like, sorry. I was like, yeah, go after yourself. Thanks for that. And I had this huge welt on my leg. I mean, I took a baseball, Major League Baseball, to the leg. How many people can say that?
Jeez.
Not a lot. But all right. So talking about athletes, we wanted to give you our
Top
KFP top 5
Hashtag KFP top 5.
to round this podcast out. This has been fun though. I like this.
Yeah. Are we going to have time for your story?
Yeah, we'll squeeze it in real quick. So we'll make this one real fast.
All right.
And we're gonna go over there to Cheese Tray to give us his top 5.
All right, and so we're doing from fifth to first, right?
In reverse.
From your favorites, number 1. Okay.
All right.
So
got
don't
that?
start with that.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
So
this is Cheese Doodle's top 5.
So because of the story of meeting him, Jordan still makes my top 5 list, but he's number 5.
Okay. All right.
In
Fair
fourth
enough.
place, Jose Chico Lean.
Oh, Chico Lean
Okay.
found in Florida naked, high on coke, driving around.
Damn it! That was my. I had that story like as a little
Oh,
add-on.
I'm sorry. I didn't even spoil. I was
okay.
just like,
You stole
No.
his thunder second week in a row.
In 1996, he was arrested for DUI and he was driving pantsless.
Yeah.
And they
Wow.
found like 2 grams of cocaine in the car.
it's a great story.
That is a great story.
Number 3, Andre Reed.
Andre
big-
Reed. Who the hell is Andre Reed from the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah, he was
You're
wide
aren't you
receiver
like
for
a
the-
Bills fan, kind of?
Growing up, I was a Bills fan until I
Wow,
moved to
that's-
Pittsburgh.
That sucks.
Shut up.
Sucks.
4 Super Bowls in a row,
You lost them all.
but still made it to 4 in a row. The only team to do it.
Well, the Pirate or Steelers. That
Pat,
Another Bill.
sorry. Did you catch his F word?
No, I mean, I
Missed it.
totally
Yeah, you'll have
missed
to bleep it out.
Don't
All
worry.
right, go ahead.
Another Buffalo Bill, Bruce Smith, is my number 2, and my number 1 of all time, Muggsy Bogues.
Muggsy Bogues. Was he the short basketball?
He's the
number
shortest.
1?
He's the shortest basketball player in NBA history at 5'3", and he could still dunk the ball.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and I had like when he was playing, I had a Muggsy Bogues Charlotte Hornets jersey. I loved him. I thought he was cool.
Sweet.
All right, well, that was the Cheese Logs top 5. And
Didn't even miss a beat. All right.
we got through that. We had a little disruption, but now we're back. How about you, big dog? What are your top 5s?
All right. So here's my top 5.
All right, let me see if these are gonna all but one are all Pittsburgh related.
False.
Wow. Okay. 2 non-Pittsburghs, rest Pittsburgh.
2 Pittsburgh, 3 non-Pittsburgh.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna guess. I'm going in order. Go ahead.
All right. Number 5 is Maxine Talbot.
Didn't guess that one.
Maxine Talbot's been my favorite ever since the fight against the Flyers, where he told the crowd to shush. I have a buddy of mine made a picture of it, so during Penguins season, I'm hanging up on the wall.
Okay. Even though he ended up going to the Flyers?
Even though he went to the Flyers, and now he plays for
Broke our
stupid.
hearts.
Yeah, and now he plays for stupid Boston. But he did play for a little bit for the Avs, which is my team in the West.
Yeah.
So number 5 is Maxine Talbot, just for what he did to that Pens team that won the Cup.
All right.
Number 4 is Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan. I would never have guessed that one.
Going old school. I like
During baseball, after the Pirates sucked, I really got into Nolan Ryan. I actually used to collect. They had a whole.
That's an odd one. Yeah.
I have some.
Okay.
Ever since he got hit, he got drilled in the face with a line drive ball, and then was bleeding all over the place.
Nolan Ryan was cool. Everybody
Yeah.
looked up. Everybody thought he was awesome back in the day.
Number 3
All right.
is LeBron James.
Oh, get out of here. Where's the table? Did I break something?
No.
Look, how can he be in your top 5? You do not like him. You like him to spite me.
No, I don't like him.
This isn't top 5 spiteful things we do to Dawn.
That needs to be a top 5.
which would be on there as well.
Yeah.
But so at first I liked
outta
him.
here.
Okay, when he played for Cleveland initially,
He's an asshole.
I didn't think anything about him. I always wanted to go see him play, and I'm like, okay, not that big. Like whatever.
You know, right now, instead of there being a LeBron image, I'm just having like a horse's ass on screen.
When he left for Miami, I thought it was hilarious because I hate Cleveland.
Yeah, you
so
love
I was
it,
like,
yeah.
so I was like, so he wised up and moved to Miami and did all that, and that's when I started following him. And then for all the stuff that he did for his community in Ohio, you know what, you can poo-poo it all you
Okay.
want. And then when he went back to Cleveland, I started following Cleveland because he went there, and it's great because he's going to do it again eventually and leave.
He's going to do it
Cleveland.
next year.
Yeah, because
He'll get him again.
Yeah.
Even if they win or don't win, he's leaving.
Yeah, which is going to be even better. And
Where
I
do you
like him even
Where do you
more.
think he'll end up?
Los Angeles.
I was just going to say the Lakers.
But here's the thing. He wants to bring
Can you put the picture?
a picture of the thing. He wants to play with all his buddies. He wants to play with D. Wade. I almost said Mark Cuban. Like that's who he wants to play with.
He wants to play with the guy from the
Carmelo
Knicks,
Anthony
that's it, yeah.
and Chris Paul. He wants to play with those 4. All the 4 of them want to play together. There's nobody that can afford all that right now
Except
the Orlando Magic, who have like all kind of money in cap space. So they either all go play in Orlando or they end up. I don't think LA may be able to, if they just get rid of everybody and bring them in, they could see them play in LA because that would be a big thing. But they don't. He don't want to play in the West. Because he's
then he has-
guaranteed a finals trip in the East every year.
Yeah.
It's like get out of jail free. I mean, he's guaranteed. There's no one good enough to beat him there. So in the West, he has to go against the Spurs and the Thunder and all these.
yeah.
He's not going to want to do it because then he can't be in the championship every year. Every year, I'm in the championship 6 years in a row, but he loses again,
Well, he's got the Buffalo Bills syndrome.
and he's going to lose again this year.
I don't know. I
buddy.
think this might be their year.
All right, go ahead with your top 5.
All right, so the number 2 is Mario Lemieux.
Okay, he's 2. Wow. I know who number 1 is. All right.
Number 2, just because of what he did for the Pens. Hockey and football are always my top 2 sports.
Yep.
So just what he did for the city. I mean, how do you not
Right. Yeah. If you're a Penguins fan, he's got to be on your list.
and for playing hockey, even casually, like him winning the cups got me into playing hockey and loving the sport.
Yeah, he would almost be on my list. That's how much I mean, and he even defeated my Blackhawks 4-0.
Oh my God!
In the
There's
Stanley
nothing.
Cup.
I remember
My boy
watching.
Jeremy Roenick.
Oh, he's on my hate list. Him,
Yeah,
Ronick.
Ronick would make my hate list.
Come
I think.
on.
There's and then leading.
No, he's kind of on my hate list too, even though he played for the Hawks.
Jeremy Roenick leads into my number 1, which is Patrick Waugh.
Patrick Waugh.
Which you said a great quote to Jeremy Roenick one time. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear you because all of the championship rings in my ears." When he was talking shit one time. So, which I'll have to put it in the face because I used to have that as my banner. It's Patrick Waugh in the goal.
Yeah.
But the reason Patrick Waugh is, I always liked him when he became a rookie and won the championship with Montreal. The fact that he didn't give a shit and told him to screw off when they didn't bench him, and he went to the Colorado, won a championship their first time in the league. He won another one with them. I think he has 4. I think he won 2 with Montreal, 2 with.
And now he's the coach of.
He's the coach of Colorado Avalanche, and that's also the reason why they're my number 2 team. Even after he left, I still.
You are so gay for Patrick Waugh. You love him.
I actually own a Patrick Waugh Canadian release only action figure of
I didn't know
him.
what you were gonna say. Dildo.
Yeah. Yep. Just so many. But he's the reason I played goalie. I was number 33 when I played goalie because of him. Like,
He's your man.
He was my
Patrick Wall, if you come across this, please come to Cranberry Township and see Ken.
He hates everybody. And the first night coaching, he got in a fight with the
Yeah, he
coach
did.
for Anaheim.
Yeah.
He's just like he would be someone that people hate, and I can understand it.
Right.
But I think he's great. He's like the perfect heel for hockey.
Awesome. Cool.
In your top 5?
There was a kid that grew up down the street
Oh,
from me that loved
Cheese
him.
Fries has
Oh,
a quick story real quick. Yeah, you got something else?
Go good. No, I just wanted to
I
interject.
can't not laugh
okay.
at every time.
I only got like 4 left. I only got 4 left. We'll have to save
All
them.
right. So Don's top 5.
All right, my top 5. Now, do you want to take it? Do you want to guess and see that anybody on here isn't from Chicago?
I was going to say 4 out of 5.
Can I guess? Can I
No,
say-
don't name any.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not from Chicago?
You think there's anybody not from Chicago? You don't have to think about it this long. They don't need to sit and listen to you breathe. They do enough of that.
I'm going to say there's one that's probably not.
Actually, you'd be incorrect. They're all from Chicago.
I want to guess them so bad.
I know you do. Why don't you write a couple down? Well, just guess them in your head, and if I say them, you'll say you got that one.
Okay.
Use the honor system,
All right.
not the cheese ravioli system.
Okay. Jeez.
Okay, number
never that
5,
funny.
Mike Singletary.
Nope, didn't have that one.
You remember who Mike Singletary was?
Oh, yeah, he was the
Linebacker for the 85 Bears, who were the team that got me into football
Yep.
and got me into sports because Singletary, Samurai Mike, was just amazing. He was awesome. I for years wanted him to come back and coach the Bears after he retired. Even then I found out he's a terrible coach when he
Because
coached.
did he coach San Francisco?
Coached San Francisco, he was like an abomination. I still think he should be like come back and be a linebackers coach or something like that. He's just awesome. And the video I watched of him with the they did that 30 for 30 about the 85 Bears and the relationship he still has with Buddy Ryan, and he goes and visits him like every other week and hangs out. And he's just a great guy, and he was so good. He was just so cool. Like I had his shirt, and he was such a badass. He was like all because he looked like a nerd when he was off. He was kind of like Superman to me. You know, he'd wear the like glasses and be kind of dorky, and then he'd go out there and murder people.
Right.
You know, he was just such a badass. But he was my man. Number 4, I had to go newer because of what this guy has done for me, championship-wise, is Patrick Kane.
Oh, I knew it.
I mean, you know, he's been in the last 5 years. You know, he's brought me so much joy as a Chicago fan, being Showtime. And I didn't put any other newer guys on here. He'd be the one for me in this part of my life. Why are you smiling like that at me over there, Cheese Nachos? Huh? What are you giggling about? Go ahead. You want to say something?
no.
Nothing? You're just enjoying it? So Kane's up there because he's my man, and he's going to be there for a while. 3 is Scottie Pippen.
Oh, yeah.
Told you before I met him, he's awesome. I love what Scottie Pippen does for the Bulls nowadays. Unlike Jordan, who's an ass and has abandoned them, Pippen has been there to help them, guide them with a young
They
talent.
should take the Jordan statue.
They should take the
down.
Jordan statue down and put a Pippen statue up there because Scottie Pippen was the man. He was so awesome in all those 6 championships that he helped bring. So he's number 3. Number 2 is Michael Jordan. I don't like. Here's the thing with Michael Jordan. He so much joy in the 90s by watching Jordan play. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nobody like Michael Jordan. I mean, these guys are good now, but no one like Jordan. Jordan never had a bad game. He never was.
Oh, yeah.
There was
Played
never
with the flu.
Played with the flu. Never was hurt. I mean, to think about how long he played and the intensity he played at in a league that was much harder and never was really majorly injured. The guy was just a machine. He was
Yeah.
uncanny. And you know, the day he hit those 6 3-pointers against the Trailblazers in the game 1 of the finals in 1 quarter, I mean, it was nothing like I've ever experienced before. I mean, watching him do that, and it was sitting there with my father, and I'm like. You know, even the announcer was like, I don't know what's going on. Like it's out of, and then Michael he does the hands to
Yeah.
Michael or Magic Johnson. Like I don't know what's happening. That was just amazing. So, and can you guess number 1?
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton. Sweetness.
Yeah. I know your affection for Walter Payton.
Oh, Sweetness was my man. So Walter Payton was the guy that got me into sports, not just the Bears, but it was Payton. Because being a kid, being an X-Men fan and comic books and all that stuff, I didn't watch football at all. My dad was like, come watch this football game. And I'm like, I don't want to watch this football game. And I started watching him play, and I'm like, well, that guy's like, is he like a superhero? Like I thought he was like a superhero. Because
He played like one.
You couldn't knock him down. He was getting up, running all around. I'm like, oh, this is my favorite player.
Well, if you've ever played Tecmo Bowl on Nintendo,
Yeah.
you know how amazing
Yeah, he was amazing. That's what he was like in real life. And,
Yeah.
and my dad's like, well, okay, you can like it, but you're supposed to be a Steeler fan. I'm like, no, I like this guy. Who's this guy play for? Oh, the Bears. I was like, well, Bears are much cooler sounding than Steelers. I'm like, I'll go with that. That's going to be my team. And just stuck. And he was just great. And when he died, I mean, I was devastated. I actually sat in my apartment and cried the night, the day I found out when I found out he got sick, I cried. And when he died, I cried. I mean, it was sad because he was my hero growing up. I mean, I wore his shirt constantly, the one that hangs in my basement. I wore it constantly and never took it off. I had posters on my wall. I just idolized that dude. He was an amazing man.
In a very similar aspect, I have for my birthday one year, my parents got me. They didn't have a lot of money, so it was a WA. It was a Montreal jersey. They took it to a local screen printer. Had like WA 33 on the back.
Nice.
I wore it sometimes, but I outgrew it quickly. I won't ever get rid of it.
Ken was a big child, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting that point across tonight. So who was on my list? Who did you think was going to be on my list?
Kane. I knew water paint was number one.
Okay.
Pippen. The Singletary I was kind of surprised by. And who's the other one?
Jordan.
Jordan, I
Pippen.
didn't think you put on Jordan. I
was going to put Brian Urlacher was close because I liked him a lot too. But
since he has hair now, you don't like
he
it.
has hair now and he betrayed us bald people. So there you go.
All right. So this episode went a lot longer than we expected. So if you wanted to listen to Dawn talk about poop,
It's a good one.
you're going to have to check out in a couple days when we put the short nerd week in review up. And then at the end of that,
KFP special part 2.
yeah, we're going to talk about some nerd stuff. And then we'll talk about Dawn's bowel movements.
Because Cheese Pizza has to do some editing on this one. And thanks a lot, Cheesecloth. And that's all I got. Good night, everybody. See you later.
Just sneak those two in at the end.
Goodbye. See you
Thanks,
later.
everybody.
Bye.
Peace.